Hello there, everyone. How are you doing today? I hope you're all well. Today, we've got a very special episode for you. We've got a story in which 242, an amazing fellow narrator on YouTube, is participating with me to read a entitled parent story. Now, if you enjoy that, please like and subscribe, and check out the fellow narrator in the description below. And without further ado, let's get started. I'm the delivery guy, not a porch pirate. This just happened, and I had to post it. My husband and I both work for Amazon Flex, which has freelance drivers deliver packages to different areas that are a little off the beaten path. This way, everyone, even those who live in tiny, forgotten towns that are surrounded by cornfields, will get their packages in a timely manner. Today, my husband, who I'll refer to as husband, was doing a block in such an area. It's early in the day and the car is full of packages when he entered small town. It was the kind of place that had a post office, a gas station, an old mill, and a sheriff. It's the place where everyone knows everyone because they're all related by blood or by marriage. So when husband starts making stops at houses in town in an unfamiliar car, everyone noticed. Husband doesn't even realize that he's being watched. It's just another stop on his delivery route. Then he goes to drop a package at a house at the end of the dead-end road. He does drop it at the door, sends a notice to the customer that the package has been delivered, and gets back into the car to go to the next stop. Except the road is now being blocked by a sheriff's car. The husband stops and the sheriff approaches him, telling him that he had received some calls about him. A suspicious man that was going from house to house and had packages in his vehicle. My husband gives him his ID and tells him, "I work for Amazon. I just delivered a package to that house back there. These other packages are for other customers." Sheriff takes a look at husband's ID, then his phone to take a look at the app. Then Sheriff looks at his own phone before going to the house husband just left to see if the package was there. Sheriff then looks past husband and sees someone's watching them. Husband described the look Sheriff gave the person as a mix of course, and "are you freaking with me?" Sheriff then tells husband that he had been accused of being a porch pirate before storming past husband to scream at the person watching them. The sheriff not only knew the person who called to report husband as a porch pirate, but the delivery husband had just done was to the sheriff at his house. The sheriff went off on the nosy neighbor about don't they have anything better to do, wasting police time, and how, yes, he was sure that husband was telling the truth since he had received the delivery notice on his phone and the package was on his porch. The sheriff came back to the husband, thanked him for his time, and sent him on his way. Husband was annoyed that he was held up for over 20 minutes, but I think his story was worth it.
Entitled Old Woman Grabs Autistic Kid by Rude Dog. Narrated by 242 Reads. This story is kinda different in the way that I, employee, witnessed an autistic young man, maybe 14 years old, get caught up in some crazy lady's "I don't work here, lady" situation. Let me set the scene for you. I, working as a door greeter, watching out for lost customers and folks with returns working the lawn and garden section. I see this autistic young man. I guessed he was autistic, as he's seen predominantly focused on his actions and kinda has that action of an autistic individual. This young man is sorting and moving potted flowers around, putting them in a very specific order, matching colors, size of pots, and heights of the flowers themselves. Doing an amazing job at it too, might I add. He is bothering no one, and most folks are just noticing him doing a bang-up job. But this one old crone of a woman sees him working and stands behind this young man, arms folded, tapping her foot. At first, I was thinking maybe it was her son or someone she was shopping with, but the next thing she did proved to me I was mistaken. She clears her throat in that dreaded fashion we all know. Excuse me, you need to help me. The young man pays her no mind, continuing with his task. She doesn't like this. She clears her voice and replies louder. You are not listening to me. You are going to help me now. Before I can walk to her and ask her what she needs, she reaches out and grabs this young man by his right arm, just above his elbow. I guess the sudden action of this and the young man's condition caused him to spin around and jerk his arm away from this lady. And the sudden movement startled the old woman, causing her to step backwards and lose her balance, causing her to sit down on her butt. It was like in slow motion watching her go from standing to sitting on the ground. By the time I reached the young man to see if he was okay, his mother had shown up and was asking what had happened. Before I could say anything, the woman who had caused this was up and berating this young man, saying he attacked her and she will have him fired and arrested. Meanwhile, this young man was almost crying and his mother was shocked. I told the mom to take her son and calm him down, that he has done nothing wrong and just make sure he is okay. Crazy old woman didn't like that I took his side. She began to lie and tell me she was a victim and she didn't do anything, that the employee, the young man, attacked her. I told her not so kindly. 1, she was a liar, and I had witnessed the whole incident. 2, the young man you forcibly grabbed does not work here, and you assaulted him. By now, a crowd had gathered, and the crazy woman had noticed that no one is giving her the looks that they believed her side of the story. She just puts her head down and walks quickly out of the store. When I turned to check on the young man and his mother, she was smiling at me and was thanking me for my help. She shops here regularly, and the young man likes to arrange the flowers. It's calming to him. I express my regrets about the whole incident. The young man walks over to me and pats my shoulder once and goes back to the flowers. The mom informs me that that was the equivalent of a high five from him. That was it. Then they were gone.
My friend's mom thinks I am a taxi driver, but when I try to explain I'm not, she gets more mad. I'm a 17-year-old male, and this story takes place a few years ago when I was in secondary school. So my friend, let's call her Emily, always used her mother's phone to call me, because she wasn't allowed to have one at the time. I don't know why. Me and her were good friends and dated at one point, but we don't talk anymore. So one of the days I receive a call from the phone number Emily uses to call me, and I pick up thinking it's Emily calling me, and this is where it begins. Me picks up. Hello? Yes, hello. I'd like to get a taxi to... I don't remember where she wanted to go to. So could he come over quickly? I need to be there quick. I'm sorry, ma'am, but I'm not a taxi driver and you got the wrong number. Don't lie to me. I know you're a taxi driver, so don't BS and get your tushy over here. As I said, I am not a taxi driver. Plus, I don't drive. I'm not old enough to drive yet, lady. I know you're a taxi driver. I used this number before, so stop this poo-poo and do your job, you freaking idiot. Listen, lady, I already told you I'm not a taxi driver, and that I'm not of the right age to drive yet, so can you please F off and get off my butt? Bye, and I end the call. When I ended the call, I thought, what a weird lady. And I didn't know it was Emily's mother until the next day when I was in school. Emily told me that it was her mother and she was sorry about it, and I said it was fine and it's not a big deal. Also, her mother did try to call me after I ended the call, so I just put my phone on silent and I put on Netflix so I could relax and enjoy my day. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, it helps the channel a lot. See you next time.